These two end tables might look good from far away, but up close, they're quite a mess. This is not a project that I usually come across. Most end tables I see have 4 legs. These are kind of different. And before you ask, no, these aren't 2 tables cut in half. It sure looks like it, but they were built to be separate. It looks like they go at 2 ends of a single sofa. Although I don't mind the brown stained look. With the quality of these 2 end tables, we will have to paint. So far, I've cleaned up with Murphy's wood soap and a microfiber cloth, but this is not the worst part. Let's turn this over and see what we find. Without going into too much detail, as you can see, it's quite a mess. But even with the mold and the dings and scratches, it surprisingly could be repaired. Here I'm using my DeWalt sander. It is flat, so I can't get every part of these end tables with this, but I'm gonna try to get as much scuff sanding as possible with this sponge adapter before I have to do anything else by hand. I will sand further with areas that have bigger scratches or gouges. I finally got in my 3M Extract sanding pads. So far, I really like them. I think I'll do a video on them pretty soon. This sanding block here is pretty helpful to get in between the edges of any parts that I've missed scuff sand. There is no major damage and nothing to fill in, so I was fortunate there. This leg here is kind of loose. I used to be scared of loose furniture, but as long as all the bolts are there, they just need a little bit of tightening and you're good to go. Before painting, I'll add a thin layer of primer, a little extra on anything that is shiny or anything I couldn't reach sanding by hand. It's not always necessary to paint the bottom of any piece of furniture that you may have. Even furniture coming from a furniture store, they don't always paint or stain the bottom portion or the back portion that sits along the wall. Because there is some mold, I'm going to get as much of the underside repaired as possible. I'm using Zinsser's Spin Advanced Synthetic Shellac Primer Ultimate Stain Blocker that blocks smoke and water stains. I used a detailed brush for areas that a paint roller would have difficulty. Now, to fill up the holes and gaps in the furniture, most of them are on the back side. They don't have to be filled in because you won't really see them, but I enjoy doing it and I'll fill them in anyways. I want the whole piece to look and feel a little more solid, and this will also give me a chance to cover up places where hardware may be showing. As for the top, I am covering a little bit of this detail here, but not too much so that it still will show up after it's painted. I see a lot of dinged edges on furniture as low as this. It's usually not because it's been moved around and dinged out a bit. Most of the time it's an animal or a dog that's been gnawing on the furniture. But it's not too big of an issue. It could be easily filled in and sanded smooth. As I've enjoyed the comfortable AC in here, It's time to get this show on the road and take this thing outdoors, where I know we can have some success in speeding up the process just a little bit by using a paint spray gun. Is much faster than a roller, and of course the hot sun will do wonders for drying time. I sometimes test the paint on a cardboard piece or on a cardboard box on the side. I didn't do that today, I just went straight for it. So I had to stop and adjust the settings according to the feel of the consistency of the paint. I do have a video on how to use this spray paint gun, the Wagner Flexio spray gun. I'll leave a link somewhere here. By the way, this is an Onyx black paint. I'm starting with the piece upside down, as I usually do, so that I can fully focus on the top portion that will be more of heavy use to the customer. After a few coats of paint, these end tables are finally taking shape. I'll mix whatever black paint I have left with some clear coat, and I'll go over it just one more time, a layer or two more on the top and the sides. That way they will be protected, there won't be a lot of streaking, and the black will still look solid and glossy. If you also enjoy saving furniture from the landfill, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.